How do you see the productivity of the university and developments that it's made over the last few years?
The university is part of the big, I think, group of partners who are working to stop TB. We work with many collaborators like the WHO, the Stop TB, a partnership, finding new drugs, new vaccines, how we can diagnose TB better, and how we can look after the people who are suffering with TB much better. In the past 10 years, there's been a lot of work and progress that has been going on in the TB world. And I think a lot of momentum has been gained because we're seeing high rates of TB mainly associated with HIV infection. So that has kind of provided like a push to get more work done in that field. At the moment, in terms of TB vaccines, we've reached maybe a critical point where we need money to proceed. TB is not only it doesn't only affect the individual, it affects the family, affects the community, affects the economy. TB treatment is very long, 6 to 9 months, and sometimes if you've got drug-resistant TB, it's even longer than that. And the thing with TB drugs is that sometimes you take it, and after a certain period of time, people start feeling better, you know, and then they don't complete the treatment.
Do people know the importance that if you don't complete the course, that there possibly may not be an antibiotic that's going to help you?
The majority of people do know, but I think it's a complicated scenario. I think there are many things that come into play when you're talking about TB, taking your TB drugs. For one, there are side effects, you know, and people sometimes cannot tolerate the side effects. We need also to understand where they're coming from because they are people with lives, with families, so people sometimes stop because of that.
So how is drug-resistant tuberculosis causing challenges in terms of research for you?
In terms of TB vaccine research, drug-resistant TB doesn't cause a particular challenge in the sense that the vaccines that we're looking for, I think what needs to be stressed is that people do need to adhere to therapy. If you don't take your antibiotics properly, that's why there is a lot of antibiotics that are now resistant, you know, that are no longer effective against certain infections. So the issue of adhering to therapy, take it as you are directed and complete the course. In the past, TB has not been a big problem in the wealthier countries. It's really been a disease of the poor, and it's been much more common in the poorer countries. That was even before the advent of HIV. In the more rich countries, there was virtually no TB to speak of. But with the advent of HIV, TB is increasing in the poor countries, but also in the rich countries. Because there is HIV, we're beginning to see more and more TB. And so they are now, most people now have got a stake, they've got a role to play. And so we're seeing a lot more work and a lot more interest in the TB research industry.
So what does it actually mean to you being involved with tuberculosis?
I became a doctor because I cared about people. And now, as I'm working in TB, it's not only about, you know, the documents that you read in a nice brochure. It's not about the presentations that you make, or, you know, I think it's about real people. TB affects real people, it affects real families. So when I do my work, when I'm writing up an article or reading something, I think about the families, the mother, the father, you know, the wife, the child. It affects real people, real families, and real communities.